Hello and welcome back to the Hobby Shed. It's been a while, but we are back. In this one, we're going to be doing my Black Crag Bloodbowl team. And I'm going to add that team into the repertoire with my other teams. Okay, so without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay then, my troll for the team has been built from the Age of Sigmar troll box, and I just used parts and bits that I thought would look quite well within this team. Okay, this strap goes all the way around. It's been made out of green stuff, as has this pauldron that I wanted, a big nice chunky pauldron just to set that arm off, which I think sets off the overall tone of the troll. I'm quite happy with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, he's a big beefy looking dude. I think what it was is there's only one troll for the Blood Bowl side, and I just thought I don't want him on multiple teams, so I used this one here, and then I think I've used the other two, if I remember right, in my Goblin team. So yeah, happy with that. Test now, Azure and Blue. I'm not 100% sure about this, so if it doesn't work out, I'll have to tone it down with washes. What I might do is just do this ridge spine area, back of the neck, and see how that looks, eh? Oh, we're good. I'm happy with that. Now I've got 2 pots of this stuff, so I'm just going to slap it on. Let's just get this in. I'm just going to attempt a bit of a blend using some of the wet bits, just to try and blend the blue into this apothecary white stuff area here. And some of it's flecked, but I kind of like it. You can see these little flecks of paint where they've just spotted it, but it makes for nice little spots on him, which I'm quite happy about. Let's just keep working that in there around the tummy, and we'll try and make it look a bit rounded. You can already see how the team is starting to shape up quite nice. So we've got this bit here that I've moulded now. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take some false layer orange, and we're going to apply this using a small makeup sponge, and it's literally just dipping it in and dabbing it all the way around. And I find it gives the similar effect to almost like maybe an airbrush. And if I get my Blue Peter model up, you can see kind of the effect it has. I quite like it. So that's next. At this point, coming in with my latest addition, this hardened leather speed paint. And anywhere, what I might do is just see how it looks on this. I'm not too keen on that colour there, so oh, that looks good. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Anywhere nice heavy straps are. And of course with Bloodbowl, you've kind of got to get used to painting from every angle, because if you place the model prone, i.e. stunned, or just knocked down, you tend to see underneath, so it's good to get everywhere. Okay, so this time AK gunmetal marker. Let's see how this goes. It's going on quite smooth actually. If anything, I'd say it was a little thick. Next bit, Azure blue, and we're just going to go down this kind of centre section here to just look a bit darker here around the back. I think moot green's probably a better highlight for these guys. On the bases, I'm using the good old lizard sand. Now, if you look at the consistency of this stuff, it makes a really good basing sand. But I think its prime use is obviously in lizard tanks. But yeah. So I'm going to base up and I'll show you how I've got there. Okay, so I'm going to start with my base PVA. So I've got some slightly watered down PVA in here. Here's what we're going to do. Make a bit of space. So let's put him back on the Right, we're going to get the PVA just all around the base of the model. I'm going to take care not to cover the hole there where the ball goes too much. Okay, but we're going to get the PVA all around the base. Be quite liberal with it. Maybe not too liberal. I'll just clean off that edge there because we don't want it to like go over the edge. But what I'm trying to do is hide where the slotters, you know, the slotter strip goes. Okay, so we've got enough on there now. Okay, dabbing it around. Okay, so take them off there, and we'll move this out of the way. And we bring back our little tub of sand, and it's as simple as dipping him in, moving him around. See how it's collecting the sand to the base now? Okay. And then tapping one side, shaking off the excess. And then using your thumb, you can just hold it. Going around, scraping off where the base is. Okay, a straightforward basing technique. We just need to now let them dry for 24 hours. Right, so this stage we've dried a little bit, and I've got two things that I'm going to do next. The first stage is to get my handy bottle of ALC alcohol. This is basically isopropyl alcohol that I've got in a handy tub or dispenser. Yeah, I got these on Amazon. Decent bit of kit these, and all I need to do is use it as a dispenser to put drops, and the isopropyl alcohol and water mix will get right into the layers. It'll basically all seep in and allow that when I put on the liquid PVA that I've pre-prepared, it will soak right in and you get a better seal. And literally, you can see where it, you know, drips in. Seeps right into where it needs to go. Okay. And then we do exactly the same with got this pre-prepared liquid PVA. It's just watered down PVA essentially. But the two combined do a really good job. You can see now where that's really just soaking in. Now the first time I did this I was a bit worried that it'd end up with this kind of really gloopy, not gloopy but shiny mass afterwards. But it doesn't, trust me. As long as you're not overdoing it. Got my transfers and I'm literally just going to dip them straight into here. That's them wet and ready to go. I'm going to lay them on my pad. Micro set, micro salt. Now I could never remember which one you do first. So on the top there, 1 and 2. So micro set first. I'm going to get a nice brush and it'll be the troll first. He's going to be position 1. I get a few drops of this into the cap. I'll put that out of the way so I don't spill it. He says, right. And what I'm going to do for the troll, he's going to have a white one on this panel here, and on the back. Where else can I put a 1? I don't know. I'll think of something. I've got another one to use, so we'll get both out. I might just put it up on his shoulder pad and work around it there. Transfers are never... Well, I tend to have difficulties with transfers, but I always think they give a really nice finish to a model when you've done it right and you've got a good selection. So let's just try and get this 01 off here. We've got it now on the brush. I'm literally just gonna get it down on that wooden panel. Right. Some micro set on it just to get it into place, I think. Soften it up. Okay, there's that one. Okay, we've got 6 on. On with the micro set. Okay, that's number 6 on. Okay, while the transfers are drying off, we'll leave them there. What I'm going to do next is something I like to do, and I've got it from playing the actual game, is when you see the ball loose or a ball on one of your player, the player is kind of lit up, and what I'm going to do is just a little bit of Tesseract glow for my balls. I'm going to paint my balls with Tesseract glow. I do like the look. I'm just going to give it a really good shake. You've really got to get it. It's because mine's been sat for a while. It's kind of, and it's looking a bit, needs a bit more green in the glow, I think. So this one's good if the ball is loose or when it's been kicked. Again, you can place this down and you can see at a glance where it is, and it should stand out from the players. So if I put it there, you should be able to see it better on the pitch. Our next phase, and probably the final bit to play with, is pigments. I'm going to use 2 pigments on these guys. The first one being Vallejo's ochre, light yellow ochre. I nearly read the Spanish bit there. Light yellow ochre, and the second one being New Rust. And what we're going to do is a bit of both, and I'll demonstrate on the Troll's base. There's two ways you can get around doing this. You can either just when they put them to one side, you can either use, and I don't even know what you call this, the texture tool from Citadel or something like that, but I use the light end, the texture shovel. There we go. So I'm going to use this smaller end, not the big end, okay, because it'd be overkill on a base this size. Yeah. And then I'll show you 2 techniques how you can do this. So I'll do the first one first. I'll do the first technique first. And what I'm doing is just getting a little bit of the pigment on the end of the shore bit here. And I'm literally just going to tap and shake some off on one side. And then we're going to come around to the other. And we do exactly the same. Don't need a lot of this stuff. A little tap. That should do. And then we're going to take out all the pigment. The New Rust. Again, don't need a lot. Just a bit. Just a little tap here. Tap there. Some around the other side. That's one method. And then at this stage, what we do, we take an old brush. So I've got this old Citadel starter brush, and you can see the end's a bit puffy. So all I'm going to do is use the end of the brush and brush in that dust. I always do a bit around the feet as well. It helps to dust up the feet and get it more in tune with what's happening. Okay, I'm going to spin him round and do the same on the other side. And really just brush it in there. Okay, so there's one base done. Another method you can do, which I'll demonstrate on this wee fella here, is another method where you just lightly dip the brush in. You can see I've got some on the brush here. Dab that around where you need it. And there's no science to it, it's just about getting some on the brush to provide the different colours. And then we brush those in as well. If you find you get too much on the brush, just take some off. I might use a bit of this for this other guy as well. Probably a bit much on this guy, I think. Right, there you go. I find it a really good way of adding that definition to the bases that give it more of a realistic look. Okay. As you can see here, that base now on that board has quite a nice effect, and there's a bit of similarities to it. I think it works quite well. There we go, all done and dusted. The Black Crag Bengals are ready to take the field. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. And if you're a bit stuck in the meantime, I still am trying to do the lives. Just trying to work out my schedule. You can see what I've done with Varagulture in a couple of live sessions that I did. Enjoy those. So without further ado, here they are on the field. Take care guys, see you in the next one.